Ladies and gentlemen, it was a budget ahead of the 2024 ballot. An interim roadmap till the general elections slated to be announced just a few weeks from now. With the Modi Sarkar, it is always in poll mood and pole position. So this budget really wasn't any different. But this budget signals their confidence of a hat-trick in 2024. The package was short on big-ticket populist outlays, which is something that we generally expect in the politics that we've been used to. However, none of those freebies coming out of Mary Poppins' bag any time in this interim budget, suggesting that Prime Minister Modi is so confident of winning a third straight term when India goes to the polls in just about 2 months from now. The focus was once again on shoring up infrastructure while continuing with fiscal consolidation. In line with the promise of a Viksit Bharat by 2047, the focus was on green energy and inclusive growth. The mantra of Garib Kalyan, Desh Ka Kalyan continues to be the guiding force for the Modi government. The Paanch Pran was for the welfare of Annadata, empowering the youth or the Amrit Pidi, and building the momentum for Naari Shakti. Perhaps that's why it focused on creating a futuristic budget rather than one which would reap short-term political gains. While lauding the budget, Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself said that this budget lays the foundation for a Viksit Bharat of 2047. Listen in to the Prime Minister, who was very confident to proclaim that he will be back for a third term to helm the growth engine for Bharat.
तीसरे टर्म में पहली 3 इकोनॉमी में गर्व के साथ हिंदुस्तान खड़ा होगा दोस्तों। थर्ड टर्म टॉप 3 इकोनॉमी पे पहुंच के रहेगा भारत, और ये मोदी की गारंटी है। मैं देशवासियों को ये भी विश्वास दिलाऊंगा कि 2024 के बाद हमारे तीसरे टर्म में देश की विकास यात्रा और तेजी से बढ़ेगी। और मेरे तीसरे कार्यकाल में आप अपने सपने अपनी आंखों के सामने पूरे होते देखेंगे।
Not just the Prime Minister, even the Finance Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman, was confident that their government would return and present the next budget in July. Listen in to her pitch for a developed Bharat.
In the full budget in July, Honorable Speaker, our government will present a detailed roadmap for our pursuit of Viksit Bharat. For our tech-savvy youth, this will be a golden era. A corpus of 1 lakh crore rupees will be established with 50-year interest-free loan, green energy. Towards meeting our commitment for net zero by 2070, the following measures will be taken. Viability gap funding will be provided. Coal gasification and liquefaction capacity of 100 metric tons will be set up by 2030. 83 lakh SHGs with 9 crore women are transforming rural socio-economic landscape. Buoyed by the success, it has been decided to enhance the target for Lakpati Didi from 2 crores to 3 crores.
So the legitimate question tonight on the budget is, will Modi ki guarantee work? That's the question, and that's the debate on the other side.
You're watching the news. NewsHour at 9. Debate number 2 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And joining me tonight to debate the interim budget is Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, Member of Parliament and Senior National Spokesperson of the BJP, Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author and scientist. Also joining me this evening, Manoj Yadav, National Spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. But my first question goes to Sanjay Jha, author and suspended Congress leader. And Sanjay Jha, you know, we've heard many criticisms by the opposition, and it's fair point, you know, for opposition to criticize the government. But today was a completely different criticism, where D.K. Suresh, Member of Parliament of the Congress Party, brother of the Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, who says southern states contribute more taxes and all of this is being diverted into the north, and therefore we might have to think about making a separate country in the south. Now, Sanjay Jha, is this the Naya Bharat? Is this the Bharat Jodo Yatra that Rahul Gandhi is doing? And is this the only insight that the Congress has on the union budget?
You know, earlier when you were introducing the program, Vika, you mentioned Mary Poppins. I can tell you that when I see Mr. Modi's government, I'm actually reminded of the French Empress Marie Antoinette, who famously said, "Let them eat cake." You know, this is a government under whose watch we are seeing the highest level of income inequality. But the government obviously doesn't care. Poverty, you have 230 million people according to the UNDP. Obviously, Niti Aayog doesn't agree with that number. But, you know, even the numbers in this government are suspect. The demographic dividend, the young story, Navika, of India, that all of us believed was our biggest USP in the global sweepstakes, has been destroyed if you look at the number of people who are jobless. I mean, what is this government really patting itself on the back for? This is almost a déjà vu, like, you know, India Shining Part 2, where the government in its own land of illusions is painting a story that does not exist. I mean, I have data to point out, Navika, that the rural wages, this is 83% of India that works in the farmlands, has seen no real increase in the center of India. I mean, this government is obsessed with the avocado on toast, business class flying, BMW SUV driving category of people.
Sanjay Jha, I've heard of many criticisms, but this is a government of avocado on toast at a time when D.K. Suresh is actually saying we should have a separate country. You don't respond to that comment being made by a member of parliament when a Bharat Jodo Yatra is going. Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, avocado on toast government hai aapki? That's the charge by Dr. Sanjay Jha.
I am unable to understand. Dr. Sanjay Jha is talking about which year? He said 83% of the people live in rural areas. You are talking about which decade, sir? As per the last census, it's around less than 70% who is 65-66% living in rural areas. So at present, it has to be less than 60%. You are talking about 83%. So I am unable to understand. And second thing I would like to say, sir, you have full right, because you are having a myopic view of putting suspicion on the data of the government. But what about IMF? The Fitch has just increased the rating of India. IMF has increased the rating of India. Even IMF chief Christina Georgieva has said that India is going to contribute 15% in the global growth rate. It is going to be the brightest spot. The IMF in which Dr. Manmohan Singh has worked. But I think you seem to be more prudent as far as the economy is concerned, whether Dr. Manmohan Singh is there or IMF is there. So as far as the rural and basic people are concerned, I would like to say कि ये बताइए कि अगर अभी एक लेटेस्ट जो डाटा आया था उसमें है कि 41 लाख लोगों ने सिर्फ लास्ट ईयर में 4-व्हीलर लिया है. तो दे आर द मोस्ट एफ्लुएंट पीपल. If 7.5 crore families are having an automobile, which is third biggest in the world, but all 7.5 crore are the affluent people. Sir, the problem is you are not able to see what the ground reality is there, how the things have transformed at the ground level, from Mudra Yojana to Jan Dhan Yojana to how the things have transformed. I just want to say one thing. ये 4 करोड़ मकान तो बने ना गरीबों के. ये 4 करोड़ affluent हैं जो मिडिल क्लास का मकान है लेस देन 1 करोड़, उसका 24% सेल बढ़ा है। ये एफ्लुएंट क्लास है जो एवरेज मकान ले रहा है। इसीलिए आपसे कहने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं सर, व्हाट यू आर ट्राइंग टू से डजंट मैच विद द फैक्ट। सो आई हैव कोटेड विद द फैक्ट्स एंड विद द सोर्सेज, बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली Congress has gone into the habit of not accepting the truth. That's why you are having this type of problem with the politics and your so-called Bharat Jodo Yatra, but you have not answered the question. What about the secession of the southern state? And it has not happened for the first time. Chidambaram has also said that the north is become a burden and southern state, if it would have been other than that, हो सकता है देश के टुकड़े टुकड़े करके एक जमाने में सत्ता पाई थी 47 में, फिर कहीं थोड़ी हसरत होगी कि किसी टुकड़े पे कुछ मिल जाए, मगर बी रेस्ट एश्योर्ड अब ये मोदी का इंडिया है और मोदी की गारंटी है। वो जमाने लद गए जब कभी आप इस ढंग की सोच कर कुछ करवा लिया जाया करते थे। भारत है।
Well, let me get in Anand Ranganathan. Anand Ranganathan, this kind of conversation, Modi Sarkar is an avocado on toast government, but no response on DK Suresh. And if I said DK Shiv Kumar, well, I meant brother of DK Shiv Kumar, but DK Suresh, the member of parliament from the Congress party, who wants a separate country out of the southern states, and maybe just the Congress party and those southern states and rich people living in that country. What kind of weird criticism and weird logic is this, Anand Ranganathan?
But it's totally expected. And if BJP is avocado on toast government, then Congress is Adani on toast government, considering what is happening in Telangana. They are drawing up contracts with Adani, and they already had. They had not nullified the contracts they already had when they had governments in Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan to the tune of 85,000 crores. And at the same time, they called Adani corrupt. But away from that, let me just give you the facts. Somebody on your panel talked about the income inequality. Well, the fact is, over the last 10 years, the inequality has actually reduced. If you look at the data, Gini coefficient, India's is actually reduced by 0.7, and it is lower than South Africa and Brazil. If you look at the number of people pulled out of poverty, let me give you the truth and the facts. 250 million people have been pulled out of multidimensional poverty in the last 10 years. These are facts, Navika. The facts also tell you that rather than avocado on toast, this is ghee and safed makhan on toast, where 100 million gas connections have been provided in the last 10 years, where 120 million toilets have been made, where 260 million health insurance cards have been provided, where 40 million new homes have been provided, where 430 million mudra loans have been provided. 70% of those to the people who have been provided are from the OBC and the SC/ST communities. What is the opposition talking about? The facts do not tally with their criticism. Now let me come to the final point, if I may. This was an interim budget, so we do not see any dhamaka, as you may call it. But the fact of the matter is, the populism also isn't there. What I have objection to, valid criticism, is that of all the policies there, Mr. Modi should be blazing forward, taking us, catapulting us to middle-income economy in 10 years. The opposition is against him. When he repealed the farm laws, that would have catapulted us, that would have taken us to middle-income economy. The opposition was for the repeal of farm laws, given the fact that all the three farm laws verbatim were in their manifestos. So who is being hypocritical here?
Well, absolutely. Good point raised by Anand Ranganathan. But let me get in Manoj Yadav ji. और Manoj Yadav ji, interim budget था. अगर कुछ ज्यादा कह देते तो आप कहते कि देखो चुनाव आ रहा है, डरे हुए हैं, अनाउंसमेंट कर रहे हैं, ये दो वो दो, ये रेवड़ी वो रेवड़ी. अब तो कुछ नहीं किया ऐसा, तो इसका मतलब कॉन्फिडेंट है कि वापस आना है, जो करना है जुलाई में करेंगे. और यही वित्त मंत्री ने भी कहा. अब दोनों तरफ से आप लोग नाखुश ही क्यों नहीं देते कि जो किया अच्छा किया?
देखिए, मैं आपकी बड़ी रिस्पेक्ट करता हूं और आपने इस बात की मांग की है कि बधाई क्यों नहीं देते, तो मैं वित्त मंत्री जी को और देश के प्रधानमंत्री को अपना अंतिम बजट पेश करने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं और बधाई देता हूं. उन 2047 में पुनः बीजेपी को अपना अगला बजट पेश करने का मौका मिलेगा. इसके लिए मैं अग्रिम बधाई दिए दे रहा हूं. इसकी एफडी बनवा लें. मेरी बधाइयां 2047 में बहुत ढेर सारी हो जाएंगी, ऐसी मैं कामना करता हूं. देखिए, नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने इस देश को कर्जेंद्र भारत बना दिया. कर्जेंद्र से आप अभिप्राय समझ रही होंगी, आपके दर्शक भी. कर्ज वाला भारत। बड़ा अच्छा लगता है जब कोई राजनीतिक विश्लेषक या कोई अर्थ जगत का कोई व्यक्ति समझाता है मुझको या देश को, बड़ा अच्छा लगता है, लेकिन वो डेटा तो नहीं गलत हो सकता है। 54 लाख करोड़ से 205 लाख करोड़ कर्ज हो गया भारत पे। गांव की कहावत है, कर्ज लेके घी पीना। अगर कर्ज लेके नरेंद्र मोदी जी इस देश को कर्जेंद्र भारत बनाने पे तुले हुए हैं तो जनता तो जान गई, और देश को इस बात का बिल्कुल पूरी तरीके से पता चल गया कि देश तो कर्ज में जा रहा है। लोग बता रहे थे, अरे लोग क्या, मोदी जी बता रहे थे, देश तो आत्मनिर्भरता की तरफ जा रहा है, लेकिन कर्ज के मानक कितने ज्यादा बढ़ गए कि 10 साल में लगभग 150 लाख करोड़ रुपए देश के ऊपर कर्ज हो गया और ज्यादा। तो पैसा गया कहां? हाँ, कॉर्पोरेट कर्ज वाले जो हैं, कॉर्पोरेट घराने, उन्होंने भी दिल से बधाई दी होगी मोदी जी को। वो क्यों? क्योंकि उनका टैक्स स्लैब घटा दिया गया है, और लेकिन थोड़ा सा दुखी भी होंगे, चुनावी साल है तो चंदा ज्यादा ले लेंगे उनसे, इसीलिए उनका कर्ज घटा दिया गया है। ये तो मेन बातें हैं। और 10 साल की यहां पे बात मुझे लगता है कि ना तो रंगनाथन जी को करनी चाहिए थी और ना बीजेपी के प्रवक्ता को। हम डिबेट कर रहे हैं एंटरिम बजट पे। एंटरिम बजट पे बीजेपी ने इस देश को कुछ नहीं दिया। लिया है क्या? टैक्स नहीं लिया आपने क्या? जनता से जीएसटी नहीं ली क्या? जनता से डायरेक्ट इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस नहीं वसूले क्या? काम क्या किया है? काम तो योजनाएं सदा चलती रही।
आप सरकार चलाते थे, उत्तर प्रदेश में तो टैक्स नहीं लेते थे ना, हवा पानी पर चलता था आपका पूरा वहां पर गवर्नेंस। द बिग टेक अवे फॉर मी एंड फॉर यू एज इंडियन सिटीजंस वुड बी द फैक्ट that there has been discipline. Fiscal discipline has been maintained, and the government has not given in to the temptation of announcing ye bhi free, wo bhi free, sale lagi hai, election hai. They have walked the straight and narrow path, which means cheap votes ke liye kuch nahi kiya gaya. Jo kiya gaya is for 10 years of governance and the promise that they will come back and address other issues of the nation. Now, is that a promise that the Janta will buy? Well, we'll have to wait and watch. Thank you very much to all my panelists and thank you viewers for joining me on the Newshour tonight. Good night.